Thanks very much for staying with us. There are pictures that are coming in from Goa, like the demolition of the Curlies restaurant in North Goa that has already started, and the pictures that are now being shared of the late-night demolition drive that was order given by the Deputy Collector's office, and the pictures of the restaurant, the same restaurant where Sonali Phogat died, is now being taken down.
So these are the visuals from the spot. Order for the demolition had been given already. The NGT had held that the structures on the ground at present were not for those village panchayat had granted an NOC for. So in violation of the norms, and that's the reason why it is currently being demolished. It had been in the news recently over Sonali Phogat visiting there. Now the restaurant, a popular restaurant in Goa, being demolished completely.
So the National Green Tribunal, which had refused to grant relief to the restaurant for illegal constructions for violating the coastal regulation zone, and it has now been brought down. The demolition drive that started at night is being continuing till today as well. The same place there where it grabbed headlines on the death of Sonali Phogat, who was last seen here. And now what is being said, let me go across to Shivani for more details, because the restaurant is now being brought down. The demolition drive has started, Shivani.
As of now, the demolition of the Curlies restaurant in the North Goa has already started. Late night, the demolition order was given by the DY collector, the Deputy Collector office, and the cops were also involved for the demolition process. And apart from that, this is a strong message being given by the government after pressure was mounted after Sonali Phogat's death, that clearly there such kind of activity, those are taking place. CCTV footages were there as a proof, and after that, demolition process was begun on our legal papers, and later we have seen that how late night Deputy Collector office had granted this permission. Thereafter only, we have already earlier also seen that how the demolition of Curlies was being demanded, and that is why the government of Goa right now is giving a strong message stating that any such incident won't be entertained and it shall not get repeated, and hence such demolition must be taking place.
Okay, all right. In fact, Shivani, stay on with us. Neha is also joining us over the phone line. Neha, it's one of the most popular tourist destinations in Goa, Curlies restaurant. Recently in the news over Sonali Phogat visiting there. From the owner had also been arrested, but today it's being demolished completely because of being in violation of the norms.
No, it's absolutely right, Pratibha. This makes one question, because we've seen the Curlies restaurant, in Goa for several years now. It's also important, just over here, since we are talking about the kind of controversy that was mired in even the Scarlet case, from a couple of years back, one would recall, was from the Curlies restaurant itself. So after all of these years, of being in existence, the decision now of, the NGT and even the civic body over there to actually demolish the restaurant, and the timing of this now, coming in, of course, like you rightly mentioned, it is one of the most popular tourist restaurants in North Goa. So, of course, this was challenged also by the owner, Edwin Nones, in the NGT, and the NGT now has held that it is violation of norms, and hence it must go.
Absolutely. Looking at those pictures there, and in terms of the arrests that have also taken place in the case, Neha, if you can tell us about the owner as well, because even when it comes to the owner who was taken into custody thereafter in the beginning of the investigation taking place, several violations that have been noted, and how the fight even went to the courts.
Well, that's absolutely right. We are talking about now the Sonali Phogat case. It is, imperative to mention that the matter had reached court as well. The owner of, Curlies restaurant over there was arrested for having allowed drugs to, illegally be consumed on his premises. This is not the first time. We spoke to several locals in Goa as well who told us that Curlies is famous, in fact, for, for drugs being not only sold inside the premises, but also for the consumption. And that was quite evident in that video as well, yes, of Sonali Phogat, where we saw that. So having said that, of course, one aspect of this would be the fact that the restaurant has been there for quite some time now, and these activities have been going on. But the larger aspect being that of how it was there illegally, which is why, yes, it is now being demolished.
Right. Neha, thank you for joining us with those details.